Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to get into the weeds.
Okay, so today we're tackling Power Query in Excel.
Specifically, a formula.
A formula that, well, let's just say it has a pretty unique name.
Unique's one way to put it.
Splitter. Split by nothing.
There it is.
Yeah, it's not exactly self-explanatory, is it?
It does make you wonder a bit.
Yeah, what are we splitting, and how can you split by nothing? It's like a riddle wrapped in a formula.
Right. But it turns out this function is actually super useful.
Okay, so before we get too deep, can you give us a quick refresher on Power Query itself?
Sure, think of Power Query as like the prep kitchen for your data in Excel.
The prep kitchen, I like that.
You know, where you get everything cleaned up, transformed, ready to use.
So it's all about getting that data shaped up before we do any serious analysis, right?
Exactly. It's that essential step that makes everything else smoother.
Okay, so where does Splitter.SplitByNothing fit into this?
Well, despite the name, it's not actually about splitting data at all.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's more about telling Power Query to treat a chunk of data as one whole unit.
Even if it looks like it could be split up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's say you have a list of customer names, and each name has a first and last name separated by a space.
Okay, I'm following.
Normally, you might think of splitting that up into separate columns.
Right, one for first name, one for last name.
But with Splitter, split by nothing, you're saying, nope, treat the whole name as one thing.
So it's like telling Power Query, don't even try to divide this up, just keep it all together.
Precisely. And that can be really handy in certain situations.
Like, when would you actually want to use this?
Think about it. Sometimes you don't want to analyze individual pieces of data. You want to work with groups.
Okay, I can see that.
For example, imagine you have a data set with sales transactions, and each transaction has a list of items bought together.
Like someone buys milk, bread, and eggs all in one go.
Right, and maybe those items are all listed in the same cell, separated by commas.
And you want to analyze each transaction as a whole, not the individual items.
Exactly. Splitter, split by nothing, lets you tell Power Query, hey, treat each transaction as a single unit, even though there are commas in there.
So you can then do things like calculate the total value of each transaction or see which groups of items are frequently bought together.
That's exactly it. It's all about setting up the data for the kind of analysis you want to do.
This is making a lot more sense now. I've got to admit that name really threw me off at first.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a head scratcher. It's like they were trying to be tricky.
And speaking of tricky, let's talk about the syntax.
You mean the parentheses?
Yeah. It's pretty minimalist.
Well, that's because this function doesn't take any additional arguments.
It just does its one specific job.
Exactly. It keeps things simple.
Which is actually kind of nice for a change, you know?
For sure. Not everything in Power Query has to be super complex.
This almost feels like a cheat code, like we've unlocked a secret power in Excel.
It kind of is. And this is just the tip of the iceberg with Power Query.
You can really do some incredible things with it.
Absolutely. Once you start combining these different functions, the possibilities are almost endless.
So just to recap, Splitter, split by nothing, isn't about dividing data. It's about strategically grouping it.
It gives you control over how Power Query sees and processes your data.
Which can make a huge difference when you're doing analysis.
And it's just one small piece of the larger Power Query puzzle.
So keep experimenting and see what else you can discover.
There's a whole world of data manipulation out there waiting to be explored.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Until next time.